அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். நம்ம அடுத்த எபிசோடுக்கு போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி முதல்ல ரீகலெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். 2 விஷயங்களை மிக தெளிவா சொல்லியிருக்கோம். நம்பர் 1, நாம் ஒரு செட் பேட்டர்ன்ல, நம்ம சிந்தனையில, நம்ம பிலீஃப்ல ஒரு கேரியரை நம்ம குழந்தைகளுக்கு டிசைன் பண்ண வேணாம். ஏன் அப்படின்னா, இப்போது ஃபிளரிஷிங் ஜாபா நம்ம கண்ணுக்கு தெரியக்கூடிய நிறைய ஜாப்ஸ் அடுத்த 10 வருடங்கள்ல காணாம போயிடும். நான் சொன்னா நம்ப மாட்டீங்க தானே? இப்போ அதை பத்தி பார்க்க போறோம்.
How can we prepare our teenagers for the future when our education systems aren't keeping up with a fast-paced world? Ooh, I love this question. Thank you to whoever asked this. The big problem today in our world, right, is that exponential technological change is rendering so many things in terms of what our kids are learning obsolete. 45% of jobs today will not exist 10 years from now. And it's crazier. According to Singularity University, between 2016 and 22, we're going to see as much technological change in the world as the entire 100 years between 1900 and 2000. Think about that. So the idea is this: stop asking your teenager, what do you want to be when you grow up, or what do you want to study? Those are dangerous questions. They are wrong questions. They get a teenager stuck on an idea of their future for a world that will no longer exist. When you ask that to a kid, they're going to say, well, I want to be a lawyer. Maybe I'm thinking about becoming a doctor. Maybe I want to be an engineer. Maybe I want to go into marketing. All of these careers, all of these jobs are changing because of robotics, because of artificial intelligence, because of advanced algorithms and emerging new technologies. These are changing at a rapid pace. Peter Diamandis said 10 years from now, you will not want a doctor operating on you. You're going to be operated on by robots. But it's not just technological change. It's also that so many jobs today are utter bullshit. They do not produce anything that's actually valuable or progressing the human race. They are jobs in large multinational food companies where your entire career is about thinking up ways to come up with fancier names for sugar so you can put garbage into people's bodies, or to come up with ways to brand high fructose corn syrup as happiness in a red can. And America's MBA graduates take these jobs, seduced by the high salaries and the perks of these companies, and then forget that they are spending the rest of their lives putting out what is essentially a crap-tastic product to the human race. You do not want that happening to your teenager. So here's what you do want to ask your kid. Ask them not what do you want to be when you grow up, but how do you want to contribute to the world when you grow up? That question changes everything. When you ask a kid, how do you want to contribute to the world? You're not putting them down a narrow path. You're having them open up their mind to a whole field of possibilities and to a life that's about meaning and contribution. They're less likely to be seduced into a bullshit job selling more crap that we don't need. Now, I asked this question to my son Hayden when he was 7 years old. Back then in our city, there was an air pollution problem. And Hayden said, well, I want to contribute to clean air. And immediately this opens up a field of possibilities. I asked him, well, how would you like to do that? And he came up with ideas such as, well, I could go work for Tesla and work for an electric vehicle company. I could open up a car dealership selling electronic cars. I could become an engineer and work on clean air technology. All of these possibilities open up, but no, it's not about becoming an electric car dealer or becoming an engineer. It's about solving the problem of clean air. When you ask these questions to your teenager, not the question of what do you want to be when you grow up, but how do you want to contribute to humanity, you help them get on the right path. You help them emerge into a life, into a career that's actually giving back to the human species. And those are the careers that give us the greatest amount of fulfillment. These are the people we need in the world today. So remember, you want to prepare your kids for the future? Ask them this one question: how are you planning on contributing to the human race?
ஆகவே அடுத்து நம்முடைய குழந்தைகளை அடுத்த சந்ததியினரை தயார் செய்வதற்கு முன்னால் இருக்கக்கூடிய மிக முக்கியமான கேள்வி, உனக்கு என்ன கேரியரை டிசைட் பண்ண போற அப்படின்னு கேட்கறதுக்கு பதிலா நீ என்ன இந்த சொசைட்டிக்கு கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ண போறன்னு கேளுங்க என்றார். ஏன் இந்த கேள்வி கேட்க சொல்றாரு அப்படின்னாக்க, மிக முக்கியமா இந்த வீடியோவை பாருங்க.
Right, everyone looking forward, please. morning, Year 11s. Today's assembly is about the start of the journey, the start of the rest of your lives. In 2 years' time, all of you will have been finishing your A-levels. In 3 years' time, you'll be studying across the world, studying at the university of your choice. In 5 years' time, you'll have started your careers. Many of you will be in this room working for the top institutions across the globe. You will then get married. You then may buy a house. In 10 years' time, your life will be set for you. In 15 years, you'll be 30. And from then on, your path in your life will be set.
I'm sorry, Mr. Headmaster. Let me tell you why that approach may fail you. I know people who graduated at 21 and didn't get a job till they were 27. I know people who graduated late at 25 and they found work immediately. I know people who never went to university but found what they love at 18. I know people who found a job straight out of college, making decent money, but hate what they do. I know people who took gap years and found their purpose. I know people who were so sure about what they were going to do at 16 and changed their mind at 26. I know people who have children but are single. And I know people who are married but have had to wait 8 to 10 years to have children. I know people in relationships who love someone else. I know people who love each other but aren't together. So my point is, everything in life happens according to our time, our clock. You may look at some of your friends and think that they're ahead of you, or maybe some of them you feel are behind. But everything happens at their own pace. They have their own time and clock, and so do you. Be patient. At age 25, Mark Cuban was a bartender in Dallas. It took till 32 for J.K. Rowling to be published for Harry Potter after being rejected by 12 publishers. Ortega launched Zara when he was 39. Jack Ma started Alibaba when he was 35. Morgan Freeman got his big break at 52. Steve Carell only got his break after 40 years old. Virgin was started by Richard Branson at 34. Getting your degree after 25 is still an achievement. Not being married at 30 but still happy is beautiful. Starting a family after 35 is still possible. And buying a house after 40 is still great. Don't let anyone rush you with their timelines. Because as Einstein said, not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that's counted truly counts. And this is the most important thing. I want you to be able to create meaningful, purposeful, fulfilling lives for yourselves, and learn how to use that to make an impact and a difference in the lives of others. That will be true success.
அப்போ மீண்டும் மீண்டும் வலியுறுத்தி நம்ம இந்த எபிசோட்ல சொல்லிட்டே போறோம். உங்க குழந்தைகளை என்னவாக போகணும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு செட் பேட்டர்ன்ல இதுவரைக்கும் சமூகத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பிலீஃபை வச்சு இந்த குழந்தைகளை நீங்க துரத்திட்டு போய் இந்த குழந்தைங்க ஏதோ ஒரு சாதனையை செய்யற மாதிரி 40 வருஷம் ஒரு ஜாப்ல போய் சேர்ந்து 40ஆவது வருஷம் திரும்பி பார்த்து ஐயோ வாழ்க்கையை வீணடிச்சிட்டமேன்னு வருத்தப்படணுமா? இல்ல தன்னுடைய வாழ்நாள்ல 50 வயசுலயோ 55 வயசுல திரும்பி பார்த்துட்டு உலகம் இப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு குழந்தையை பெற்ற பெற்றோர்னு உங்களை பார்த்து அதிசயமா வாழ்த்தி வரவேற்கணுமா? மிக மிக முக்கியம். ஆகவே நம்ம அப்ஜெக்டிவ் ரெண்டு அப்ஜெக்டிவா பிரிக்கிறோம். எண்ட் கோல்ஸ், ஆவரேஜ் கோல்ஸ். வாழ்க்கையில நம்ம முதல் எபிசோட்லயே சொன்னோம். என்ன சொன்னோம் அப்படின்னாக்க, நம்ம எல்லாம் குறிப்பிட்ட பேஷனுக்காகவோ குறிப்பிட்ட விருப்புகளுக்காகவோ ஒரு ஜாபை நம்ம தேர்ந்தெடுக்கிறதே இல்லை. படிக்கிறோம், படிச்சு முடிச்ச பிறகு ஜாபுக்கு போனோம், கிடைக்கிற ஜாப் எடுத்து பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம். அதுல மாறாம 40 வருஷம் இருந்து வாழ்க்கையை தொலைச்சிடறோம். இப்பதான் பிரசன்ட் ஜெனரேஷன் தான் ப்ரெஷர்ஸ் எடுத்துக்கிட்டு வாழ்க்கையில முன்னேற்றங்களை நோக்கி ஜாப்ஸை தேடி போறாங்க. எங்க காலகட்டங்கள்லாம் ஜாயின் பண்ண ஜாப்ல 35 வருஷம் வேலை பார்த்து ரிட்டையர் ஆகிறதுல சர்வசகஜமான நிகழ்ச்சி. இன்றைய ஜெனரேஷன்ல அது இல்ல. நாளைய ஜெனரேஷன்ல மாத ஜாப்ல வேலை செய்யுமா நாளைய ஜெனரேஷன்? நாளைய ஜெனரேஷன் ஜாப்னால மட்டும் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை ஆயிருமா? நாளைய ஜெனரேஷனுடைய கற்பனை என்னவா இருக்கும்னு இன்னைக்கு நீங்க எப்படி முடிவு செய்ய முடியும்? நான் பிறந்த காலத்துல எங்க அப்பா டைப்ரைட்டிங் படிக்காதது மிகப்பெரிய குற்றமா சொல்லியிருக்காரு. இங்கிலீஷ் தமிழ் டைப்ரைட்டிங் கட்டாயமா தெரியணும், ஷார்ட் ஹேண்ட் தெரியணும் அப்படின்னு எங்க காலத்துல, எங்க அப்பா காலத்துல இருந்த பிலீஃப். எங்க அப்பா அப்படி செஞ்சிருக்காரு, சித்தப்பா அப்படி செஞ்சிருக்காரு, எங்க மாமா செஞ்சிருக்காரு, எல்லாரும் அப்படி செஞ்சிருக்காங்க. அவங்க தான் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல். இன்னைக்கு எத்தனை பேர் டைப்ரைட்டிங் ஷார்ட் ஹேண்ட் தெரியும்? எங்க ஜெனரேஷன்ல எங்க அப்பா போதிச்ச பிலீஃப்ஸ், ட்ரெடிஷன்ஸ்ல 90% பேருக்கு இது தெரியாது. அதே மாதிரிதான் நாங்க சொல்லப்படக்கூடிய மிக முக்கியமான வெர்ச்சூஸ் உங்ககிட்ட என்னென்ன இருக்கணும்ன்றத நாங்க நினைச்சதுல எது உங்ககிட்ட இருக்கோ சொல்ல முடியாது. ஆகவே அடுத்த ஜெனரேஷனான நீ உன்னுடைய வாழ்க்கை முடிவுகளை எடுக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி மிக நன்றாக சிந்தித்து முடிவெடு. அந்த முடிவுதான் இப்ப நம்ம சொல்ல போகக்கூடிய மிக முக்கியமான ஒன்று.
So the big problem in life in industrialized countries is that all too often we wake up one day at the age of 40 dreading going to work because we were forced to pick a career before we could legally buy a beer. And why does this happen? It's because so many of us in our younger years think that a means goal is really an end goal. We confuse the two, and both of these things are really, really, really different. And this is one of the lessons I wish more people could learn earlier in life, the difference between an end goal and a means goal. Now, end goals are beautiful. End goals are the end result of being human. End goals are about experiencing love, traveling around the world, being truly happy, contributing to the planet, learning a new skill. Means goals are the stuff that society tells us we need to have in place to get to happiness. For example, getting a good GPA, getting into college, getting into a particular firm, being with one particular someone, getting a good review at work. The problem is we get so obsessed over these means goals that we lose sight of the end goals. For example, when I was younger, in the early 90s, I had a goal, and that goal was to graduate from a good college and get a job at the leading software company of that time, Microsoft. And I accomplished that goal after 5 years of slogging it out. Senior year of high school and then university, I finally ended up at Microsoft. And 11 weeks later, I realized I absolutely hated my job, and I actually got myself fired. Why? Because I confused a means goal with an end goal. Now, what did I really want? What I really wanted was to travel around the world, to have my own business, to have the freedom to do what I wanted to do. I simply thought that the only way to afford all these things would be to become a software engineer and slog it out for 20 years doing something I really didn't like, programming. To get there, I confuse the means goal with the end goal. All of us make that mistake. It's not about law school. It's not about the GPA. It's not about doing good in a particular test. It's about truly experiencing life. Now, if you think about it, all of life boils down to three things, and I call these the three most important questions. How do we avoid the trap of waking up one day at the age of 40, miserable in life and our job because we made the wrong decision? Well, I found that all end goals fall into three different buckets, and it's really about experiences, growth, and contribution. I call these the three most important questions. The three most important questions you can ask yourself are, what do I want to experience out of life before I kick the bucket? How do I want to grow? And what do I want to contribute to the planet? And why these important? Well, if you think about the first one, experiences, right? Money, for example, money is a means goal. We don't really measure ourselves by the size of our bank account. However, we have truly lived life based on the experiences that money can buy. So money is important. And let's think about the other two, growth and contribution. Tony Robbins, who's an amazing speaker and trainer, he said that deep down inside we have two great spiritual needs, the need to grow ourselves and the need to contribute. And everything else just creates happiness, but true fulfillment comes from growth and contribution. Now, if you put all of this together, you have those three sections of your life. What do you want to experience? How do you want to grow? How do you want to contribute? answer these 3 questions, forget the means, go straight for the end, and you've come up with the most powerful thing you can do in terms of setting goals for your life. And you'll find, especially at an early age, that you open up yourself to opportunities to go outside the system and to drive at the heart of being happy way faster than ordinary people. Now, this is such an important exercise that when someone enters my life and we're about to go into a partnership or a close friendship, I ask them these questions over a drink, or, I want to know what drives them, what experience do they seek in life, how do they want to grow, how do they want to contribute to the planet. But I believe in these questions so much that I even made this part of our company, Mind Valley. So every new person who joins Mind Valley, we take them through an exercise where they answer these questions, and we collect all of these on a piece of paper, we stick their face on it, and all of these pieces of paper go on what is perhaps one of the biggest darn vision boards on the planet. And this is such a beautiful practice because you know exactly what drives your coworker, what drives your employee. If you're a manager, you know exactly what are the motivations and the drives of the people under you just by looking at the answers to their 3 most important questions. It's a blueprint into their soul. So I totally recommend this for anyone who's running an organization. But for now, we're going to do this with you. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to help you come up with the answers to these 3 questions. We're going to do this in the form of a speed round. A lot of people overcomplicate the process, but really all you need is an iPhone, any kind of stopwatch, and 90 seconds per question. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to set a timer, and in 90 seconds you're going to answer each of these 3 questions. And don't worry about overthinking it through. Just let it flow. The reason we use a timer is because it helps you shut down your logical mind so that your creative right brain can just help these answers flow through you. So grab a pen and a paper, or if you are reading this on my blog, there's a sheet you can download, a PDF sheet that's already prepared for this. Go ahead and download that, and we're going to get started. Make sure it's printed out. So we're going to start with the first question, and that first question is, I want you to make a list of all the experiences you want to get out of life so that on the day, your final day, you know that you've truly lived life. So make a list of all the experiences. We've started the timer at this point. And as you're making this list, I'm going to speak out several phrases and ideas that might help you complete your list. So make that list. What would you really want to experience? Think about people you know who have done incredible things, seen amazing places, traveled around the world. Don't make money or time an option. So think, what would I experience if time and money were no question? Expand it to include health and fitness. Think about love, relationships, sexuality. If you're a parent, think about experiences with your family, with your child. Think about your friends and your social life. What experiences would you share with these friends? Remember, don't worry about what money can buy. Assume that you have unlimited access to funds or that you're going to win these opportunities. You can extend this to places. What type of car would you want to drive? What type of home would you want to live in? Where would you spend your holidays? Who would you spend them with? And you have 5 seconds left. And that's it. Easy, wasn't it? And now we'll go on to the second question, growth. So I believe that we truly become fulfilled when we grow ourselves. I personally think that all of us were born, and part of our purpose in life is to learn new skills, to develop ourselves as human beings, to embrace personal growth. So what we're going to do now is make a list in 90 seconds of all the various ways you might want to grow and be a more creative human being. So ready, start, let's begin. So think about your intellectual life. What books would you want to read? What skills would you want to learn? Think about travel. What languages might you want to master? And let's expand beyond intellectual life. Think about character traits, leadership, honesty, confidence, What character traits would you want to bring into your life? Think about emotional intelligence, the ability to control how you perceive the world, the ability to deal with stressful situations in a positive way, or positive stamina. Which of those traits would you like to bring into your life? Think about your spiritual life, your meditation practice, prayer, your beliefs. What aspect of your spiritual life would you want to grow? Keep writing. Just let it flow through you. Don't forget to bring in your health and fitness too. What would be your targets or your goals for health? Have you ever dreamed of hiking up Mount Kilimanjaro, or running a marathon, or even something smaller like just having a regular gym practice? And you have 5 seconds left. That's it. Put down your pens. So now we're going to go on to the final question, and that final question is contribution. I'm going to start the timer, and here you're going to make a list of all the various ways you want to contribute to the world. Now, I'm not saying that the purpose of life is to give, but what I've just generally found is that no matter how shitty your life might be, when you think contribution, when you think about giving back, for some inexplicable reason, life seems to give you more as well. And it tends to be one of the surest paths to happiness. So no matter what you may be going through in life right now, let's just, for the sake of experiment, make a list on how you might want to contribute to the planet. So I've started the timer. So here are the things to think about. How could you contribute to your family, to your friends, your workplace? But go beyond that, your city, your society, the world. And your contribution doesn't have to be something big, although it's wonderful if it is. It could be some volunteer work. It could be teaching kids at school. If you're an artist or a writer, it could be through a piece of art or a work that you create. What we're talking about here is your legacy. How are you making the world a slightly better place through your creations, or through the donation of your time, or your money, or your specialty knowledge, or your love? Your contribution can also come from your career. If you're working for a company that's doing good for the planet, or even just a regular company that's operating as a business and keeping thousands of people employed, how are you contributing to the world by contributing to that company? Contribution is one of the surest ways to fulfillment. You have 5 seconds left. That's it. Put down your pens. So really, that's the process that we use. That is the Mind Valley way of goal setting. I want to get everyone who works for me, everyone I know as a friend, to bypass the rules of the industrial age of society, to forget about what society says you got to do step by step, but to go straight towards that end goal, towards the very essence of being human. And again, it really is all about 3 things: experiences, growth, and contribution.
ஆகவே மிக முக்கியமா இப்போ உதாரணமா நான் ஏன் இந்த யூடியூப் சேனல் ஆரம்பிச்சேன் அப்படின்னாக்க, எனக்கு நான் எம்எஸ்சி பிசிக்ஸ் காரைக்குடி காலேஜில் படித்தேன். அதுக்கு பிறகு நான் என்ன பண்ணேன்னாக்க, நீப்பால போய் எஜுகேஷன் பிளானிங் படித்தேன். இந்த பெற்ற படிப்பு எல்லாருக்கும் பயன்படணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக டெல்லியிலேருந்து திரும்புறப்பவே பள்ளிக்கல்வித்துறை இயக்குனருக்கு கோப் அப்படின்ற ப்ராஜெக்டோட வந்தேன். கம்ப்யூட்டரைஸ்டு பிளானிங் ஃபார் எஜுகேஷன் அப்படின்ற ப்ராஜெக்டோட வந்தேன். இந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் அப்போ டேக் ஆஃப் ஆகல. ஆனா அதுக்கு பிறகு பல்வேறு காலகட்டங்கள்ல மதிப்பிற்கு மரியாதைக்குரிய கார்மிக ஐயா அவங்களால தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டு சேலம் மாவட்டத்துல என்னுடைய பணியை ஆரம்பிச்சேன். டீச்சர் எஜுகேட்டர் ஆரம்பிச்சோம். டோட்டல் லிட்ரஸி கேம்பெயின், டயட், எஸ்எஸ்சி, ஆர்எம்இசின்னு அனைத்து சென்ட்ரல் ப்ராஜெக்ட்லையும் நான் வேலை பார்த்துருக்கேன். ஆனா அப்போ முடிக்க என்னுடைய கோல் என்னன்னாக்க, எனக்குன்னு ஒரு ஃபுட் பிரிண்ட்டை நான் கிரியேட் பண்ண ஃபுட் பிரிண்ட் ஸ்கூல் எஜுகேஷன்ல இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு ஆசைப்பட்டேன். அப்ப என்னுடைய growth ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி என்னன்னாக்க, நான் தமிழ்நாடுக்காக திட்டமிடக்கூடிய ஒரு நபராக மாறணும். அதுக்குதானே நீப்பால போய் படிச்சேன். அதுக்குதானே வருஷக்கணக்கா படிச்சேன் நீப்பால. அந்த வருஷக்கணக்கா படிச்ச படிப்பு கனவு நனவாகணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக நிறைய தியாகங்கள் செஞ்சிருக்கோம். அப்படி செஞ்சப்போ 2009ல இருந்து அந்த வாய்ப்பு எனக்கு கிடைச்சது. இடைநிலை கல்விக்காக திட்டமிடக்கூடிய அலுவலராக மாறினோம். மாறிய போது மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு எஃபர்ட்ட புட்டப் பண்ணோம். தமிழ்நாட்டிற்கு நிறைய செஞ்சோம். தமிழ்நாட்டிற்கு செஞ்சத மிக முக்கியமாக சொல்ல போனாக்க ஸ்கூல்ஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சது. 1254 ஸ்கூல் வாங்கினது. 54,000 டீச்சர் போஸ்ட் வாங்கினது. அதே மாதிரி சயின்ஸ்லயும் மேத்ஸ்லயும் கனவு கண்ட சில ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ செஞ்சு ரிட்டையர் ஆறதுக்கு முதல் மாதம் மனிதவள மேம்பாட்டுத்துறையினுடைய பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்சஸ், பெஸ்ட் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் இன் தி டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்ஸ்ல உலக வங்கியினால தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டு செஞ்சோம். இன்னும் என்னுடைய கனவு நினைவாகல. அதுக்கு பிறகு நம்ம என்ன செய்யறோம்னாக்க, நம்ம என்ன கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறப்போ நீட் இதுக்காக கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணணும், கரிக்குலம் ரிஃபார்முக்காக கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது கனவா இருக்கு. இது ஒரு தனிநபரை பற்றியது. உங்களுடைய கனவு என்ன அப்படின்றத உங்க குழந்தைகிட்ட இருந்து கேட்டு எழுதி வைங்க. மீண்டும் சந்திக்கலாம்.